Welcome everyone. Today I will tell you my story, so pay close attention if you don't want to go through the same situation I went through. Be careful and listen carefully to all the rules. Check if your doors and windows are locked and watch until the end of the video. Without further ado, here we go.
Imagine scrolling through your phone late at night, the familiar glow of your screen casting eerie shadows across your face. You're watching your favorite videos, perhaps catching up on the latest trends or simply trying to unwind after a long day. Then suddenly an advertisement appears that makes your blood run cold, not because it's disturbing or violent, but because it knows things about you that no company should ever know. Picture this. You're watching a random video about cooking, recipes, and an ad pops up showing your exact street address, your daily routine, even the color of your car parked outside. This isn't science fiction, mate. This is happening right now, across Australia and New Zealand, and it's more terrifying than any horror film you've ever watched. What if I told you that there are advertisements out there that are specifically designed to target individuals who fit certain psychological profiles? Advertisements that appear only to people who are vulnerable, isolated, or going through difficult times in their lives. These aren't your typical consumer ads trying to sell you the latest gadgets or fashion trends. These are something far more sinister, something that preys on human desperation and fear. Have you ever noticed an ad that seemed too personal, too specific to your current situation? Something that made you question how they could possibly know what you're going through? Well, you're not alone in this unsettling experience, and today we're going to explore the dark world of predatory advertising that's designed to make you run, not walk, away from your screen. The phenomenon I'm talking about isn't just some urban legend or internet conspiracy theory. It's a sophisticated system of data harvesting and psychological manipulation that's been quietly operating in the shadows of our digital world. These advertisements use advanced algorithms and artificial intelligence to create profiles so detailed that they can predict your emotional state, your financial situation, and even your deepest fears. Think about how many times you've shared personal information online, from your social media posts to your search history, from your shopping habits to your location data. Every click, every pause, every scroll is being monitored and cataloged by systems that know you better than you know yourself. The most disturbing part? These predatory ads don't just appear randomly. They're strategically placed when you're at your most vulnerable moments. Late at night when you're feeling lonely, during financial stress when you're desperately searching for solutions, or when you're going through a personal crisis and seeking answers. The algorithms can detect these patterns and serve up advertisements that exploit your emotional state. Some of these ads promise miraculous solutions to your problems. Others offer deals that seem too good to be true. And the most dangerous ones present themselves as genuine help while leading you down a path of exploitation. Have you ever wondered why certain ads appear at the exact moment you're struggling with something specific? It's not coincidence. It's calculated manipulation, designed to catch you when your guard is down and your judgment is compromised. Let me share with you some of the warning signs that should make you immediately suspicious of any advertisement that appears on your screen. First, if an ad addresses you by name or references specific details about your life that you've never shared publicly, that's a massive red flag. These ads might mention your workplace, your family members, your recent purchases, or even your health concerns. They're designed to create a false sense of familiarity and trust, making you believe that this company truly understands your needs. Second, watch out for ads that create artificial urgency or scarcity. Phrases like, only available for the next 10 minutes, or limited to people in your area, are classic manipulation tactics. These ads prey on your fear of missing out and push you to make impulsive decisions without proper consideration. Third, be incredibly wary of ads that promise to solve complex problems with simple solutions. Whether it's financial troubles, relationship issues, health concerns, or spiritual matters, life's challenges rarely have quick fixes, and any ad claiming otherwise is likely trying to exploit your desperation. Fourth, if an ad asks you to click immediately or threatens negative consequences for not taking action, that's a clear sign of predatory behavior. Legitimate businesses don't need to use fear tactics to attract customers. Fifth, pay attention to ads that seem to know about your recent life events, such as job changes, relationship status, or family situations. This level of personal knowledge should be deeply concerning and suggests that your private information has been compromised in ways that violate your privacy and security. The technology behind these predatory advertisements is more advanced than most people realize, and it's constantly evolving to become even more invasive and manipulative. These systems use machine learning algorithms that can analyze thousands of data points about your online behavior, creating psychological profiles that are frighteningly accurate. They can predict when you're likely to be emotionally vulnerable, financially stressed, or psychologically susceptible to certain types of messaging. The data comes from multiple sources: your social media activity, your search history, your purchase patterns, your location data, even the time you spent reading certain articles or watching specific videos. All of this information is combined to create a comprehensive picture of who you are, what you want, and most importantly, what you fear. Some of these advertising networks have partnerships with data brokers who sell personal information gathered from various sources, including public records, loyalty programs, and even healthcare databases. This means that ads can target you based on your medical history, your financial situation, your legal troubles, or your family circumstances. The most sophisticated systems can even analyze your typing patterns, the speed at which you scroll, and how long you hesitate before clicking on links. This behavioral analysis allows them to determine your emotional state in real time and serve up ads that are specifically designed to exploit your current psychological condition. Have you ever felt like your phone was listening to your conversations? While that might not always be the case, the level of surveillance and data collection happening online is so extensive that it can feel like these companies know your thoughts before you even think them. The human cost of these predatory advertising practices is devastating and far-reaching, affecting millions of people across Australia and New Zealand every single day. These ads don't just waste your time or money. They can destroy lives, relationships, and communities. I've heard countless stories from people who fell victim to these sophisticated scams, and the pattern is always the same. The ad appeared at exactly the right moment, with exactly the right message, promising exactly what they needed to hear. There's the single mother from Melbourne who saw an ad promising easy money from home, only to lose her savings to a cryptocurrency scam. There's the elderly gentleman from Auckland who clicked on an ad for a miracle health cure and ended up giving away his personal information to identity thieves. There's the young student from Sydney who was targeted with predatory loan advertisements when his search history revealed he was struggling financially. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a systematic exploitation of human vulnerability. The psychological impact is often worse than the financial loss. Victims report feeling violated, manipulated, and deeply ashamed that they fell for what seemed like obvious scams in hindsight. But here's the thing. These ads are designed by teams of psychologists and data scientists who understand human behavior better than most people understand themselves. They know exactly which buttons to push and when to push them. The shame and embarrassment prevent many victims from reporting these crimes or seeking help, which allows the perpetrators to continue their predatory practices unchecked. How many people do you know who might be suffering in silence after falling victim to these manipulative advertisements? What makes these predatory advertisements particularly insidious is their ability to mimic legitimate marketing while hiding their true intentions behind layers of sophisticated deception. They often use professional-looking websites, convincing testimonials, and official-sounding language to create an illusion of credibility. Some even use stolen logos and branding from legitimate companies to trick you into thinking you're dealing with a trusted organization. The psychological manipulation goes even deeper than most people realize. These ads are designed to trigger specific emotional responses that bypass your rational thinking processes. They use techniques borrowed from neuroscience and behavioral psychology to create a sense of urgency, fear, or desire that overwhelms your ability to think critically. The color schemes, the fonts, the images, even the timing of when the ad appears are all carefully calculated to maximum psychological impact. They know that certain colors trigger anxiety, that specific words create emotional responses, and that particular images can evoke powerful memories or associations. The most dangerous ads are those that present themselves as educational or informational content. They might start with genuine seeming advice or helpful tips, gradually building trust before introducing their predatory elements. By the time you realize what's happening, you've already been emotionally invested in the content and psychologically primed to accept their proposals. These ads often target people during vulnerable life transitions, job loss, relationship breakups, health scares, financial difficulties, or major life changes. The algorithms can detect these situations from your online behavior and serve up ads that seem to offer hope and solutions when you're most desperate for both. The global reach of these predatory advertising networks means that this isn't just an Australian or New Zealand problem. It's a worldwide crisis that affects millions of people every single day. These operations are often run by international criminal organizations that move quickly and operate across multiple jurisdictions to avoid law enforcement. They understand that the internet has no borders, and they exploit this fact to target victims in countries with strong consumer protection laws while operating from regions where such laws are weak or non-existent. The sophistication of these operations is truly staggering. They employ teams of graphic designers, web developers, psychologists, and data analysts who work together to create the most effective predatory campaigns possible. They conduct extensive testing to determine which messages work best on which demographics, constantly refining their approaches based on real-world results. Some of these operations are so well-funded that they can afford to run legitimate-looking advertisements on major platforms, making it even harder for consumers to distinguish between genuine marketing and predatory manipulation. The most disturbing aspect is how these networks share information and techniques with each other. If you fall victim to one predatory ad, your information is often sold to other criminal organizations, making you a target for even more sophisticated scams. This creates a vicious cycle where vulnerable people become increasingly victimized over time. The psychological profiling becomes more detailed with each interaction, making subsequent attacks more targeted and effective. Have you ever wondered why scam calls and emails seem to come in waves? It's because once you're identified as a potential victim, your information becomes a valuable commodity in the criminal underworld. Understanding the warning signs and knowing how to protect yourself is crucial in today's digital landscape, but it's equally important to recognize that these predatory systems are constantly evolving and becoming more sophisticated. The techniques I've described today are just the beginning of what's possible with current technology, and the future holds even more concerning possibilities. Artificial intelligence is becoming more advanced every day, and these predatory networks are at the forefront of adopting new technologies to exploit human vulnerability. Deep fake technology could soon allow them to create personalized video messages that appear to come from people you know and trust. Voice cloning technology could enable them to create phone calls that sound like your family members or close friends. Augmented reality could allow them to overlay predatory advertisements onto your real-world environment in ways that feel incredibly personal and immediate. The key to protecting yourself and your loved ones is to remain vigilant, trust your instincts, and never let urgency override your judgment. If an advertisement makes you feel uncomfortable, pressured, or too good to be true, that's your intuition warning you of danger. Share this information with everyone you care about, especially those who might be more vulnerable to these tactics. The elderly, the financially stressed, the isolated, and the technologically inexperienced are all prime targets for these predatory systems. But remember, anyone can fall victim to these sophisticated manipulation techniques when they're caught at the right moment with the right psychological pressure. The fight against predatory advertising requires all of us to be informed, alert, and willing to speak up when we see something suspicious. What other warning signs have you noticed in your own online experiences that might help protect others from these predatory advertisements?